3 weeks, guys. 3 weeks since I started my YouTube journey. And all it took is a single comment to destroy everything. It's game over for me, man. I'm a washed up has-been. This is where my journey ends. What's up, guys? I'm Nasty. You're probably wondering what the heck I'm talking about. This is kind of a follow-up to the last video that I posted talking about the changes to the flyers, the mechanic changes, the nerfs. It sparked a lot of discussion among the players and a lot of outrage, as to be expected, because those changes looked like, well, dog water, to be honest. So without further ado, let's dive in. What the heck am I talking about? This, specifically. So this was a post that I didn't go through in the video, but that came up after the fact. There was a guy calling me out. I have omitted information because this isn't a witch hunt. I don't want anybody to go out there and blast this guy for saying mean stuff on the internet. How dare he, I know. So he says, I saw a video of a guy as clueless as you are, and I've come all the way here to say that Alfred possesses lock-on immunity in his kit and don't have an idea of what you're talking about. That was his response to the comment above that said, Alfred doesn't get to do loops and spirals, only standard left and right. Okay. Guy commented below that that response there, yep, Alfred can break FCS lock-on. And then again, the guy that said, he saw my video, says, how is it that people don't know about this? So, we've ruffled some feathers, clearly. And, well, maybe we can do a little better as a community to be more informed. So this is me doing my part. Let's see. The way I want to address this is I'll just take the comment for what it's specifically saying. He says that Alfred possesses lock-on immunity in his kit. That is something that I want to challenge. I believe it can be perceived as lock-on immunity, but it isn't the same as lock-on immunity. Let's dive right into that. The first thing I want to note is lock-on immunity and evade, or excuse me, lock-on immunity and lock-on break, or breaking the lock-on, are two distinct mechanics for this game. I'm going to jump into the training mode so we can see what the heck I'm talking about. Before I dive into this, I'm going to play a quick video that highlights these mechanics from Alfred. And this is what we got.
Ops 2, Rapid Assault Mode. When Rapid Assault Mode is triggered, Alfred will perform a high-speed forward dash. This allows it to quickly maneuver through the battlefield by adjusting Alfred's angle and positioning. It can also cancel stagger and grant immunity, while enhancing Alfred's mobility, lock-on range, and reticle size. Aerial evade can break enemy lock-on and provide an increase in agility.
And that right there is what we're talking about. Aerial evade can break enemy lock-on. I want to draw attention to how it specifically says grant enemy, evade enemy lock-on. Using evade breaks enemy lock-on. Why is that important? I think the developers are being very deliberate in the way they write these auxiliaries into the strikers kits. Otherwise, we wouldn't know what the heck's left from right. I'm going to look at the weapon overview so we can see what it's talking about. Rapid Assault Mode, verbatim, says, cancel stagger and dashes forward at high speed, boosting mobility, lock-on range, and reticle size. Air evade breaks enemy lock-on. It doesn't say grants lock-on immunity. Just want to put that out there. So a quick demonstration of what it's doing. If you guys note during rapid assault mode, you're going to see on the left hand side just to the left of the yellow reticle, it says untargetable when I evade. So I'm hitting the evade button. Every time I hit the evade button, it says untargetable. That's breaking enemy lock-on. So I just want to make sure we understand that. I'm going to swap over to the infamous changes for these strikers that just happened. Let's go with Falcon to review his kit and see what it says for him. Looking at the weapon overview, Winged Form switches to flight mode for enhanced mobility, detection range, and lock-on range. Grants immunity to lock-on during evade loops or spiral descent. During evade, loops, or spiral descent. When evade is used consecutively, the immunity duration decreases with each evade count down to a minimum of 2 seconds. So the reason I'm bringing attention to this is when they want to say that something grants lock-on immunity, they probably will say it grants lock-on immunity, as opposed to breaks enemy lock-on. It is also the case that we have another striker that has a similar mechanic to Alfred, and that happens to be Aquila. Aquila has the ability to break enemy lock-on with his mobility kit. I'll go over the weapon overview so we can see this. Airborne kit grants hovering ability, enhancing air mobility, operates on independent energy gauge, usable during stagger, becomes untargetable by enemies during air evade. So the wording is different than lock-on immunity and breaking enemy lock-on. The issue is how we interpret it given this information. If we think about it in this way, I'll go back to the menu to look at some other stats that are relevant. For the primary reason that they implemented this change to the flyers is because it was clearly addressing the fact that people spam the loops to have essentially a infinite lock-on immunity. There was some short time that you maybe could lock on, but they were largely untargetable when doing these maneuvers. I want you guys to take note of the stats on the right because lock-on time is relevant when we're talking about breaking the lock-on, and make that distinction there between breaking lock-on and lock-on immunity. When they're doing a loop, they're granted lock-on immunity, and regardless of the lock-on time listed here, which is 0.3 seconds, so it takes Aquila 0.3 seconds to lock onto a target when it's within its reticle. If they use the loop, no matter how long the reticle is on target, if it's on for those 0.3 seconds, Aquila will not lock on. However, for Alfred, the moment the evade ends, as I had demonstrated in training earlier, after the untargetable is removed, that status is removed, the lock-on timer starts, and within 0.3 seconds, at least Aquila will be able to lock onto Alfred. So I think this is where we have to make the distinction, and I guess, in a way, for us that are playing against these strikers, here's how I see it. Regardless of whether you use consecutive loops to have lock-on immunity, or you simply spam evade to break lock-on consistently and reset the lock-on timer, the end result is the exact same. You essentially can't lock on to this damn striker you're trying to shoot, right? With that being said, I'll leave it up to you guys. I'm pretty sure that these kits, as they're described within the Striker's overview, is deliberate by the developers. If it says they have lock-on immunity, they have lock-on immunity. If it says they break lock-on with evade, that's what they do. Immunity isn't stated, but it can be interpreted. So take that for what it is. Anyways, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you later.